Hi guys, welcome to week 5 of our Banners Walk project. So today we've actually just spent most of the day going to B&M. It's a discount store that sells pretty much everything you need for home furnishing and general washing up and a bit of food here and there as well. But what I found is that for HMOs and general home dressing, they're actually really good. They're relatively inexpensive and you can pretty much get everything that you need in one place. Also, you can just get 2 trolleys and chuck everything in and then bring it out. So anyway, let me just walk you around the kitchen. So the kitchen's in. It actually looks pretty good. It's turning out to be a lot smaller than we'd like it to be. Originally, we were going to put the fridge freezer here. We were only going to get 1 fridge freezer between 4 people, but we've decided in the end to get 2 fridge freezers between 4 people, which it's just better to have more than anything. So it's going to be too tight to put here. So what we're going to do instead is get another cabinet, so maybe a little boutique one, and put it here with some extra shelves to make use of the socket, and also as an extra shelf space for something like a microwave, for example, because actually we just realised we don't actually have enough counter space here. So that's probably another Ikea trip. I mean, for this property, we were trying to avoid going to Ikea because it turns out we can actually get everything from B&M for this particular project, and the rest from supermarket. We actually went to Asda for this one. It looks like we probably will have to go back to Ikea, but we'll see. We were looking for a bench. So if you're going to turn around, because there's quite a lot of space here. The original plan was to have maybe a sofa and a dining table, maybe like a small 4-person dining table and some chairs, and then a sofa and a coffee table there. We've talked it over, and we've got a feeling that we might be trying to cram too much into one space. Because if you think about it, a small dining table here, people cooking over there, and then you've got a sofa, a 2-person sofa here, and a coffee table. People are just going to walk in, and it's going to hit their leg, stumble, something. Plus, there's potential of sort of health and safety issues as well in case there's a fire. So I think what we're going to do, and I posted this on Facebook yesterday, is, I've actually ordered it already, is get a bench, 2 benches and a large dining table. So it's more of a communal experience for everybody. And that will go around here. So it'll be around this sort of space, going that way. And it'll hopefully act as extra table space as well. So when you're preparing food and things like that, you can prepare food here, or you can do it over there. But at the same time, ideally, you probably prepare it here while talking to the other housemates, I think, which would be quite, it's a sociable, it's a nice thing to do. That's the idea anyway. Now, sorry.
What sort of factors come into play when you're deciding how you're going to furnish a particular room or a particular property?
What do you mean?
So how would you, decide what type of fridge you're going to get, what type of sort of white goods you're going to be getting, what type of, cups and plates and whatnot? Okay,
so let's say the white goods. So we always get 2 fridge freezers, really. I mean, like a 4-person HMO is pretty much the minimum size HMOs will get. And all our 4 beds have always ended up being 2 fridge freezers. So getting 2 fridge freezers for them, which we've stuck to. So these, I think, you want about 260 bags, or I forgot what the metrics is for fridge freezers. But basically, this sort of size fridge freezer, 50-50, always frost free, because tenants aren't going to look after them. You want to give them minimum responsibilities. I think it's still locked, so I can't open it. Yeah. But this sort of size is absolutely fine, nice and easy. As little knobs and buttons as possible. Just something easy that just works, turns on, turns off. That's it. Little interaction. Two of those. There isn't. So if you're going for the high end, maybe you get something that sparkles. Just the occasional design feature. Maybe it will just look less basic, but that's really the only difference. In terms of functionality, they're all pretty much the same. So, for example, in this project, this is pretty much basic, very straightforward. Does exactly what it says on the tin. If this was for a higher end property, there might be just like the design feature going across. It would just look a bit nicer. But in terms of functionality, it will be exactly the same. So it's more of what attracts the eye for the higher end market. In terms of washer dryer, so we always get a washer dryer. If you do have space for two, get a washing machine and a separate dryer. Make sure with the dryer you get the vented ones. Just because with the other type, tenants aren't going to change the filters, and there could be serious fire concerns. So washer dryer, keep it as far away from the bedroom as possible because of the noise. So normally in HMOs there's a bedroom near the kitchen somewhere. It's either through an extension or the converted reception room, before the kitchen. That bedroom generally suffers from a lot of noise. So ideally you want to put something between the wall, where the wall is between between the kitchen and that bedroom. So normally it's 2 fridge freezers, and that will kind of help buffer the noise and keep the distance between the people in the kitchen and the person in the bedroom. In the same respect, you'd also want to keep the washer dryer as far away from that bedroom as possible. So for example here, it's nearer towards the garden, and also because it's vented, so we'll have to put that anyway, and also it has to go near the plumbing. Again, with white goods, minimum functionality. It just needs to turn on, do its job, do it well, be as energy efficient as possible. Don't be stingy on the drum size, because tenants will just cram it in. Do like a 9 kilogram or something. Is it kilograms? Oh, 9 kg. Anyway, so just don't be stingy with it. Minimum functionality. Turn on, turn off. That's it. Because otherwise tenants will mess it up. And also, again, when you've got too many buttons, the cleaning becomes a bit of a nightmare. You'll get dirt and dust stuck in between them, and then when you wipe it, it'll just really get into the corners and the edges. Everything else, again, just standard, easy to clean, long-lasting thing. We actually found a really good deal from Birmingham. Was this one? Actually, so the reason this is really good as a microwave is if you look at it, it's a good design, so it adds value to, or perceived value to the property, but also really easy to clean and minimum functionality. You literally turn it the amount of time you want it to run, and the power, and open and close, and that's it. Obviously 20 litres, it was actually more difficult to find than you'd think. And the other stuff, they're standard. As long as they look nice, they work, you expect them to be replaced at some point. This was actually, original price was $69.99, and then for some reason it got ringed up as £10, so we got it for £10. So actually it's laughing.
We got two.
So in that case we went back and got another one, and we talked it over with them, and they thought, it must be the end of the line. So we weren't trying to pull a quick one. I was, okay, you can have it for £10. I thought, great, all right, we'll get two. The other one, admittedly, was a bit more. I think it was $49.99, but that was better than $69.99 or $79.99. And that one was the same design, but copper. So we're using that one for Willows Avenue. In fact, another good find from B&M was this. So the cups, I think 4 cups were costed as what? $4.99, $3.99?
Yeah.
$3.99, and it turns out that actually with this chrome design and 4 cups costed us $4.99.
$4.99, yeah.
Or something along those lines, which was good because I was going to get a cup holder anyway, which was actually £3.99. But this has this has the look that we're going for. So if we're not going to use it here, we'll use that Willows Avenue because of the chrome sort of look. These are actually very good space savers because now you can just leave them out. Tenants can wash, dry, and put them on, rather than putting them into their separate cupboards, and then you'll never see them again. Or you know, if somebody wants a cup, they'll have to go hunting. This out there, but organised. So that was really good. We went through. So first of all, we found a set of knife and forks. For was it £5 or £6 or something? It wasn't the best quality. You know, it was easy to bend. And then we went to the next section, and it was a knife and fork that was better quality. I thought, okay, we'll get that one. And then we saw a set of cups, so I thought, okay, we'll get that. And then we saw a set of plates, and I thought, okay, we'll get that. And it actually turns out we just got this in the end, which was not a lot.
No, it wasn't a lot.
£9.99, or basically half the price if you were to buy everything together. And this is a complete set, so it's got cutlery, bowls, and plates, and everything matches. So that was that saved us money, and everything matches, which is always nice. What else is there to go? I think that's pretty much for this one. Well, obviously we went around and got little paintings. That was what, £3.99. Went for the actually choice of Cat Perfect over there.
Even though I don't like pets.
Yeah, but this is a pet-friendly property, so we thought, well, you know, it's just nice for the tenants. If anything, welcome the pets as well. Yeah, so one of the big concerns we have right now, or the sort of the challenges we have, is where to put these fridge freezers, and maybe you guys can make some suggestions. For example, we ended up getting 2 fridge freezers. Now, the question is, where do we put this one here? And that's fine because it's hidden behind here, so it's actually making good space, making good use of this space, because otherwise back there will just be dead space. So that's fine. But then we want, as it stands, the door's opening this way, because if it's opening this way, you get hit by this door as it comes out, which means that that space is dead. Ideally, I would have liked it to face this way, and that fridge freezer over there to then be next to it, so you can open 1, open 2, and when this door opens, you can't see that, you can see the second fridge, but then you've got the rest of this. So if you want to actually turn around, sorry, so then you've got the rest of this space to play with. Unfortunately, that isn't going to work because the door's facing that way, and you just get hit by the kitchen door as it opens. The problem with the fridge freezer being here, is that when the dining table comes, it'll come here, and then we've got restrictive access here. It restricts access here, which means that it will restrict access here because the table will have to move up slightly. The space just doesn't seem to work as well. Potentially, we can put the fridge freezer here and make use of the existing sockets. My only concern with that is that when you walk in, you're facing a fridge, and then facing another fridge, which is kind of facing that way. So you've got a fridge facing that way, and you've got the other fridge facing that way, which is a bit weird. But on the plus side, we can have a dining table here, and everybody can just hang out here. Yeah, so that's something to think about, that we need to kind of decide on. Well, we specifically wanted certain lampshades for these. I think Asda had 1, but we needed 2, so we didn't get it. We're just going to go to another one and try and get a set instead. I think it's worth waiting out because it does add to the look of the place. I'd rather make an effort with that one. Hopefully you'll see what I mean when we do our final video. We'll do a quick tour of some of the bedrooms just so you can see what it's like. Yeah, B&M, Cool. So I think is this the largest bedroom?
This is the biggest, yes.
Yeah. Pretty, really big size. The curtains are going to go up. We've got the curtain poles. Again, B&M, they pretty much do everything. We've got all the curtain poles from there, all the curtains from there. Adam and Eddie has just delivered the furniture. Yeah, carpets in. This looks nice. I think this is the first time we've done a video with the carpets in. The bed's dressed. So now this is one of the things you have to consider when positioning furniture in properties. The kitchen is on the other side. Ideally, you want that bed, and where there's a lot of traffic, and obviously that's the hallway there. So that is actually a bad place to put a bed, because there'll be too much noise there and too much traffic there. Now the thing is, it's also, but ideally you want the bed next to a radiator, just so it's warm in the night. As it stands, the reason we've done it this way is because it makes a good impression, a good first impression when tenants walk in. They'll come in and they'll look at that. This is really spacious, so maybe actually want to spin the camera around and we'll just show the whole property.
So it's a really big room.
So it basically, it just looks like a really big room, which it is. The reality is though, when a tenant moves in, most likely they'll move that bed over there, here, so they've got the board facing this way and they're looking that way. The curtains will be up. They'll probably leave that there because it's quite functional, and then they've got all this space over here to put a desk or a sofa or anything that they want to use. That's what's most likely is going to happen, but as it stands, this is just for viewing purposes or picture purposes, and that's completely different. So it actually helps when it's trying to sell a room as well. Yeah, so another tip is smellies. That's always quite useful. It just makes a better impression on the property. So Ashley and I, we've just been going around putting up dressings throughout the property. I'll probably skim through all these.
Yeah.
So this is the smallest room, but this is the smallest room. It's actually turned out to be, it turned out really well.
Yep.
We've got the combo wardrobe chest of drawer, so that's the space saver. That actually fits in there pretty good. Single bed, which pretty much frees up all this space. Mirror next to the light switch, nice and functional. I've put it a bit low, but that makes the place look a bit bigger, and it's nice and functional. So given that this room is 6.6 or 6.5 meters squared, 6.66 actually, it feels a lot more spacious than it actually is. So that was a good win.
Thank you.
Okay, and then from there, these are all considered really good sized bedrooms. So this would be a good position for a bed, for example. So it's next to the radiator, next to the window. And you've got your bedside cabinet next to the power socket. Over here, because there's a bedroom on the other side and the walls aren't that thick. This is where you put the furniture to kind of block out the noise from your neighbour. Yeah. And again, a really decent sized bedroom where you've got pretty much everything in here. Smellies, lampshade. Yeah, just overall a really big room. Yeah, I think that's fine for this. And so we'll go to the bathroom. I'm not looking at the bathroom. I'm not particularly I'm not keen on this bathroom in its current state. So what we're going to do is we've changed the toilet seat cover. That made a big difference. What we're going to do is get them to Lewis to just come and give it a proper chemical clean, like properly clean it Because as it stands, even for a house share, for a supported accommodation house share, it's not to the standard we like to be.
It's in terms of condition. The conditions, you know, it's a fairly good condition, but aesthetically, it's not really great on the eye.
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
It's lessening the whole thing down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can see the rest of the house. We've done it to a good standard, and we don't really want to be let down by the bathroom.
Yeah. That said, it's actually in a lot better condition than it was yesterday. So I think they've been around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the trades have been around and given it a good clean. I mean, if we look at that, for example, that needs cleaning or just replacing. Yeah. It's actually quite.
It's a solid. It's a very
solid
sturdy bath. So we didn't really want to chuck it. We wanted to see if we could, you know, get it cleaned up.
I mean, for example, these that can be taken off and put new ones on, and that will completely change the look of it. But we want to figure out how to make this look brand new. So if anybody's got any recommendation and suggestion, that would be really appreciated, because we don't want to throw it away. It's, you know, sturdy, it's good. Maybe change the taps. But yeah, okay, any questions, just let us know. So tomorrow we're going to do the furniture has come today, the furniture is coming to the other property tomorrow, and then we're waiting for the the dining table and chairs to come to this one, and more or less after the snagging, that's pretty much done. Obviously, and the curtains go up. And then tomorrow we're doing exactly the same thing at Willers Avenue. We're going to B&M, definitely Ikea this time, and a supermarket to get all the electronics, dressing, and general kitchen cleaning stuff. Fingers crossed, the door will be installed on Friday, and then tenants will start to move in on Saturday, Sunday. So a lot to do. Anyway, hopefully that's been helpful. Okay, hopefully that's been helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
Cheers.